There we go. We're recording. Okay, I'm gonna go get the spare book. Did you leave yours at home?
Yes.
Okay. It's chilly in here. I need to go get my sweater.
You done? When you take that one, and you take this one. And on this, when you wrote, right here, you're gonna write it right here at the bottom. And for right here, you're gonna just basically write how it looks.
All right. Have you written down what's on the board?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna erase it then. All right, so we're on page 48, and this investigation. Ooh, the door got away. Is on frequency tables, histograms, and surveys. Okay, so yes, page 48. So we have frequency tables. Histograms. And surveys. So, a frequency table will have of course, it's a table. Why is this marker giving me such a hard time? And I'll have your subject, tally marks, and the frequency, which is the adding of the tally marks. Okay, so this is a generic. The subject changes. So we have this on page 48. We have Hannah made a frequency table to record her test scores throughout the year. For each test, she made a tally mark in the row showing the number of correct answers on the test. So, so her subject is number of correct answers on the test. So if the number correct is 18 to 20, the number correct 16 to 17, 14 to 15, 12 to 13. And my guess is she didn't ever get less than 13 correct, since they ended it there. And we have tally marks to show that. So under 18 to 20, there are 9 tally marks. And on 16 to 17, there are 7 tally marks. Under 14 to 15, there are 4 tally marks, and under 12 to 13, there are 2. Okay, so when we do tally marks, we do 4, and then for 5, we draw a line through the 4. So it asks us some questions. Notice that the number of correct answers is a range. So the first question is, can you tell from this frequency table how many of Hannah's tests had 20 correct answers? And then it says why or why not. So what do you think? Can you tell how many tests had 20 correct answers? Nine. Okay. But this isn't asking you how many. This is asking you, can you tell from the table how many of Hannah's tests had 20 correct answers? Exactly 20 correct. Exactly 20. No? Okay. Why not? Why can't you tell if it was exactly 20?
Because there's no actual evidence that says, oh, each test had exactly 20 answers.
Well, if you're looking at this is a range of between 18 and 20. She could have gotten 20 correct on every test, but she might have gotten 19 or 18. So we can't tell. It's because there is a range. Whoops. Of correct answers. $18 to $20. Okay. So it says Hannah tallied, for number 2, Hannah tallied the number of scores in each interval. How wide is each interval?
Miss Mickey, I have a question. Does that say 16 through 17 or 10?
Yes, that says 16 through 17. Okay. I'm going to erase question 1 now.
Okay.
Do you have it down?
I don't have it written down.
I mean, do you have the answer written down?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so Hannah tallied the number of scores in each interval. So how wide is each interval?
Is the interval the blue chart?
It's the numbers. So all but one of them have the same interval. 12 to 13, that's an interval of 2. You've got 2 scores, 2 scores, 2 scores. Here we have 3 scores. Okay. So 12 through 13, 14, whoops, through 15, and 16 through 17 are two correct. Are 2. And then 18 through 20 is 3. Okay. And then it says, suggest a reason why Hannah arranged the scores in such intervals. So why do you think Hannah arranged the scores in those intervals?
Because I'm thinking that it stops at 20, so instead of adding 3 to each one, just add 2 to all of them.
Okay. And let's see if we get, if they stop at 20, you could stop at less than 20 sometimes, but if they stop at 20, they're these would correspond to letter grades, maybe. So 18 to 20 would be 90 to 100. This would be 80, 17 times 5. So this is like 80 to 85. 'This is 70 to 75, I think.
Is that 80 through 5?
80 through 85. This is 70 through 75. And this is 60 through 65. So these correspond to like letter grades. And that's why I would think, because anything under 60 is failing. So she doesn't have 11 and under, because that's an F.
I've never gotten under 60 on the test before.
So, and then number 3 says, show how to make a tally for 12.
So it would do 2 5 mark tallies and 172.
Yep, very good. And number 4 says, create a frequency table to track your test scores throughout the year. After each year, update your frequency table. At the end of the year, you will have a record of all your test scores. I'm not going to make you do that. You can if you want, but you do not have to.
I only have one math test so far.
Well, so far, we've only had one math test.
Okay.
We will have more.
So like basically adding up my grade for it.
Mm-hmm.
Each test.
Yep. Okay. So this is a frequency table. Now, keep this in mind, and we're about to look at a histogram for this same information. Okay? So keep that in your head. So remember, frequency table has tally marks and then you count the tally marks. A histogram is similar to a bar graph, but the bars touch each other on a histogram. So we have, on a histogram, you'll have two axes. You'll have a title. Histograms contain two labeled axes. And a title. Okay, so here and they do this to show that there's something that comes before that little funky Means there's something that comes before. And so our title is Scores on Math Tests. And okay. And then this is the frequency. And this is the number of correct answers. So I have 12 to 13, 14 to 15, 16 to 17, 18 to 20. So when you have a bar graph, a histogram, each section needs to be the same width. So the title, each section is the same width and the bars touch. Okay. So the 12 to 13, there were 2. And then you would color that in. Kind of hard to color in with dry erase marker. And then for the 14 to 15, there were 4.
How many lines are there?
11, counting the box. So 9 internal lines, not counting the box. 7. And then there were 9.
Good morning, this is Validale. Can I help you?
And so then for number 5, it said, what level or what interval, not level, what interval had the lowest frequency of scores?
12 through 13.
Yes. 12 through 13. Which interval had the highest frequency of scores?
18 through 20.
Yep. And then which interval had exactly twice as many scores as 12 through 13?
Okay. No. Wait, what's that? 19 through 15?
There's 14.
Okay.
Sorry, my 4 did run into itself. And you said 14 through 15. And that's correct. Okay, so for home, page 49, question 8. So that is to make a frequency table and a histogram, and it for the following set of test scores, and it gave you test scores, and then it says use 50 through 59, 60 through 69, 70 through 79, 80 through 89, and 90 through 99 for the intervals. So it tells you which intervals to use. That's for doing at home. All right. And then we'll turn over and talk about surveys. Excuse me. So it's page 50, yes. And notice at the bottom of page 50, okay. So in the middle of page 50, they've done a frequency table. And towards the bottom, there's something that looks kind of like a histogram, but it is a bar graph. So bar graphs, notice that the bars are not touching. In a histogram, the bars are touching. Okay, so they are different. So we're gonna talk about surveys now. So have you ever been somewhere like at the mall or walking into the grocery store or like at the Summit and had somebody come up to you and say, could you take a survey for me? Okay. So at times, a survey is questions. It's just questions. So surveys. A way of collecting data about what they call a population. And what a population thinks about a certain thing. Okay. Surveys generally focus on a small part of the population. Called a sample. And then conclusions are drawn. About the entire population based on the sample. So, and you can collect survey information on a lot of different things. Say you can collect information on what kind, this survey that is in the book is about what kind of sports people like. You can find out political views. You can find out what types of stores, like when you go to the mall, if you get contacted to take a survey at a mall, which stores are you going to go to, and maybe why. If you eat at a particular restaurant, which dishes at that restaurant do you like best? Or if you eat at
Texas Roadhouse rolls.
Oh, okay. Or if you eat at a particular restaurant, was the service good? Was the food hot? Did it taste good? Was there a problem? You know, all that kind of information helps businesses target the right people in their advertising. So surveys are helpful in that way. You also might take a survey of people who've had a specific illness. You know, you go and you ask people, well, have you had chickenpox? Have you had measles? Have you had mumps? That's just surveys can find out all kinds of things. So this particular survey is about a camp, and it conducted a survey of 100 male and female campers to determine the sport that campers most enjoy playing. So they would continue to offer that if they had to, get rid of something. And I don't think we have time to go over the whole thing. So y'all will need to read and answer the questions.
What time is it?
It's 10:10. The bell's gonna ring. So, investigation 1, page 49. So pages 50 through 51, read, and then we'll go over
Is this just homework?
yeah, this is homework. Answer questions 9 through 12. And then we'll talk about that next class. Okay. Oh, don't let me be in the way. I need to turn that off. Or stop it.